Ahoy hoy, it's Lydia here from the Simpsons Theory. Wednesday was a real treat for us Marvel fans. Not only was Black Widow released in theatres, but the new episode of Loki dropped on Disney+. And we also got a very special Simpsons short entitled The Good, the Bart, and the Loki.
I worship you, great Loki!
This short was littered with dozens of Marvel references and jokes, and in this video today, I'm gonna break it down.
Finally, a functional family.
Are you ready? Let's go. The short opens on the Rainbow Bridge in Asgard, with Odin informing Loki that he is banishing him to Earth. Where in Earth, do you ask?
Springfield.
No!
By the way, yes, that is Tom Hiddleston's voice, who reprised his iconic role for this short. Also in this scene was Thor, Fandral, Heimdall, and Lady Sif, who was most recently seen in the Loki series. When Loki was recaptured by the TVA, he was put into a recreation of a past memory where he cut off Sif's hair, who would then proceed to slap Loki before kneeing him in the groin and punching him in the face again and again. But you know what, I bet there's hundreds of weirdos that would pay to have this happen to them. Anyway, Loki is sent down to Earth where he immediately meets Springfield's prankster Prince Bart. Loki tells him that he has no idea what it's like to have a distant, abusive father and a blonde-haired sibling who is always perfect. Bart proceeds to invite him for dinner with his family, and Homer instantly worships the god when Loki splits his pork chop in two. And as we all know, Loki loves nothing more than being bowed to. Ever the vegetarian, Lisa says the last thing the world needs is more pork chops, and so Loki sends her far away to Asgard. It's in this scene we see Fenris Wolf sleeping, who is the ferocious Asgardian wolf that appeared in Thor Ragnarok as Hela's loyal pet. Thor's hammer then drops in front of Lisa, and the inscription appears to state,
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
In the movie, Odin whispered the spell into Mjolnir when he banished his son before throwing it through the portal. Only when Thor was deemed worthy later in the movie, he was able to lift his mighty weapon once again. And of course, Lisa is instantly worthy of the hammer, gaining super strength and a fancy new armor. Her armor is very reminiscent of Lady Jane's costume in the Mighty Thor comics, which are being adapted for the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder movie, which will see the return of Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, who is set to take up the mantle of Thor. Lisa flies back to Springfield, much to Bart's surprise.
Lisa is Thor?
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
And she's not alone, she's brought the Springfield Avengers for backup. With Barney as Iron Man, Herman as Captain America, Patty as Scarlet Witch, Selma as Agatha, Mo as Vision, Hibbert as Falcon, Dr. Nick as Doctor Strange, Milhouse as Hawkeye, Carl as Nick Fury, and Agnes as Black Widow, who is rocking her costume better than me. Wolfcastle is Giant Man, Miss Hoover is She-Hulk, Shauna is in Pepper Potts' rescue armor, Mole Man is of course, Mole Man, Flanders is Ant-Man, and Comic Book Guy is Quicksilver, and Ralph is the Hulk. But it turns out she didn't need them anyway, as she sends Loki flying into orbit using the hammer. Or was it Loki? It turns out that the prankster was up to his old tricks yet again and traded places with Bart so he can finally have what he always wanted, a loving family. And even though he's lost his only son, Homer doesn't seem to care too much, so I guess it all worked out in the end. In typical MCU fashion, the short ends with a number of post-credit scenes. In one of them, Loki has taken the place of Mo and is giving out free duff. Something the original Mo would never do. Ever the environmentalist, Loki warns them that their drinking is destroying the environment, but of course Barney doesn't care. The second is a recreation of the first Avengers film, where the Hulk tosses Loki around like a ragdoll. The very last reference is to the Loki show, where he is put on trial for tampering with the sacred timeline. There is also some amazing artwork during the credits, my favourite being Comic Book Guy wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, no doubt something he's always dreamt about. Overall, this was a really fun short and I just wished it was a bit longer. As a Marvel fan, I love a little reference and hearing Tom Hiddleston's sexy voice. You can never have too much Loki in your life, so check it out on Disney Plus now. So, what did you think to this special, and did I miss any Marvel references? Let me know in the comments below. If you want more Simpsons content, then please consider subscribing to the Simpsons Theory. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll smell you later.